Hello everybody and welcome to another gear talk, and this time I'm going to talk you about the kimono. Before we begin, as usual, if you want to support the channel, please put a like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to go a step further, check out my books, the links are down in the description, and you can find lasting photographs, a novel, very good reviews online, photography, depth manual, everything you need to know about photography, and inject fine art printing, something that is essential if you take pictures with a beautiful camera like the K3 Monochrome. This said, yesterday I got a Pentax K3 Monochrome to test thanks to the Italian importer of Pentax Fowa. If you're following social media, probably you already know that the K3 Monochrome had been renamed the Kimono, so that's my homage here. And I had this camera just yesterday in the afternoon, and I wanted to have a first impression. As I usually do, I just put the camera in automatic, go around, take a little walk, take some pictures. I decided to take pictures at night around the city, and I'm impressed by this camera. Here is a little slideshow, and then I will talk a little bit more about the camera. As you can see, the camera is impressive. The dynamic range of this camera is absolutely fantastic. I let the ISO in auto mode, so there are pictures that are taken 6400 and so on, and there's almost no noise at all. I just put the pictures back in Capture One and elaborate the pictures. Really nothing much to do. There's something very nice. There's an option here to set the exposure meter so it will preserve the highlight, because the highlights are always a problem with a monochromatic sensor. You don't have the other color channel to recover the highlight, to help the recovery of the highlight. And by the way, if you want to know the difference, the technical difference between a monochrome and a color sensor, check out here this video, I explained it. And so I had really nothing to do in post-production, just recover shadows sometime, and it's fantastic. I already love this camera. It will be a very sad day when I will have to give back this camera. It's absolutely beautiful. I just put on this 31mm 1.8 and I took a stroll with that. I also took a couple of pictures here inside my house of a little subject with some high contrast, and you can see them, and I use the 85mm and 100mm macro, so beautiful camera. Aesthetically, you can see that the K3 Monochrome is exactly the same as the normal K3. There's no difference at all, except the colors of the Pentax here. This is gray, this is white, and a little monochrome right on the back. So this is really exactly the same camera. If you're used to Pentax cameras, it will be absolutely easy to familiarize with this camera. Here is just my first impression after this our walk at night in the city. And it's absolutely something that is totally different from a color camera. There are two things that impress me. One is the dynamic range, how much you can recover in the shadows without seeing noise at all. And the other thing that for me is absolutely impressive is the feeling I had. That was kind of the same mentality I have when I use a black and white film on a film camera. The fact that you know that there's no color, so your mind automatically switched to black and white mode. I was around, I was looking for subject, and I was looking for black and white subject. I was looking for the lights and the patterns and these kind of things. I forgot the existence of colors, and it's something that I usually don't do when I have a digital camera, color camera. I go around to take black and white photos. Still, I know I can use the colors. So my mind cannot switch that deep between color and black and white mentality. So that's the other thing that really impressed me. Was I knew it was black and white, so I just went for subjects that were very good with black and white. I will obviously do a full review of the camera in the next weeks, so I will tell you more about all the details of this camera. What I found is like always with Pentax, for me, very easy to handle the camera and very easy to find all the buttons and all the functions. I appreciated the user set, the user mode. I set it before I went out, and that's really something that is very easy to use, a very nice camera to have in your hands. It was really a great experience, and already I fell in love with this camera. Really beautiful, beautiful camera. The plan for the next weeks will be to test deeply the K3 Monochrome, or Kimono if you prefer, and the K3 normal color. That someone call it KT online. So the idea will be to do a serious comparison between the color version and the monochrome version to get monochrome files. So I will be able to tell you if it's worth to get body just for monochrome. I think yes, but I will test it and I will see what are really the difference on the two different sensors taking pictures. Everybody following this channel knows that I also love film photography, so I have in mind to compare the monochrome from a digital camera to a monochrome from film. Are two different things because the curve, the response curve is totally different, but I will have some fun doing some comparison between this monochrome and a film. And I have some Ferragna P30 to test that I got yesterday, and I will put it on my trusty MZS, and I will try to do a fun comparison that will be probably nothing very serious because again are two different, totally different systems, the digital and the film, but I will have some fun doing the comparison between the film and the digital. This said, stay tuned because in the next weeks I will test completely the cameras. And by the way, if you have some curiosity, if you want to know something specific about the camera, please tell me in the comments. I will be glad to go around and test some specific things on the camera for you. So if you are curious, if there's something that you want to know about the camera, if you want to see something particular about the Pentax Kimono, just let me know in the comments. Oh, and by the way, something that I really loved about this camera, the first impression, they did a fantastic job with this gray display, just a gray light in the display, everything is gray, even the strap as the Pentax is not the usual red or color, but is absolutely gray. So absolutely, Pentax did a fantastic job with the aesthetic of the camera. And for what I have seen yesterday, They did really a fantastic job with the sensor and the image quality of this camera. Stay tuned, thank you for watching. Again, if you want to support the channel, please put a like, subscribe, share with your friends, put on the social media. I need this channel to grow a little. And if you want to do something more, check out my books, Inkjet Fine Art Printing, Photography DF Manual, and Lasting Photographs. Thank you for watching, see you next time.